Here, all eyes on the clock, counting down to the last second that ushers in the brand new year. It has been a journey of sacrifice and readjustments for Nigerians. Although on a bumpy path at the moment, the destination gets clearer from all nationalistic perspectives. From the reopening of the Warri and Port Harcourt refineries for local processing of refined petroleum products to compressed natural gas for vehicular movements and cleaner energy, agriculture and food security, stability, electricity, transportation, mineral resources and tax reforms. Several reforms were introduced by President Tinubu to rejig and transform the country's fortunes and, more importantly, renew the hope and aspiration of Nigerians home and abroad. Today, we will step back over the last 365 days to bring you some of these remarkable reforms that analysts believe, if given time, will reposition key sectors in the country. I'm Ayodeji, marking the compliments of the season. In our studio tonight is Fred Wabufo, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Engagement. Welcome to the CUSP on the Nigerian Television Authority. We are live in Abuja, and I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Please join us on our social media handles displayed on the screen, and let's cruise together into 2025. As I said to the President, you're welcome to the CUSP.
Thank you, Ariel. Thank you very much.
What a year 2024 of so many issues, key decisions according to Mr. President, all over the 8 key priority areas. But let's start with what's so many issues, well, in no particular order. I think we should just start with the CNG. It's one decision that the President made clear right from the moment he came in with the pronouncement that subsidy was gone. And so many questions were raised. What is Mr. President going to do concerning this? And boom, we had the CNG, and then we had conversion centers. But how has it really transformed the transport sector?
Thank you very much, Ariel. First of all, I would say it's been a year of manifest hope.
All right, tell me more about it.
I call it manifest hope because some of the promises Mr. President made during the campaign are beginning to crystallize. Some of them have actually crystallized this year. The President promised to introduce a mechanism to help Nigerians who don't have cash readily available to finance purchases. Today, he has fulfilled that promise. There is credit card for Nigerians, all Nigerians. He also promised to help Nigerians who seek higher education but don't have the funding to achieve that dream, to help them do that. Today we have NEL Fund. So in the intro you mentioned, of course, there have been a few bumps here and there, but by and large we've seen sectoral transformation, multi-sectoral transformation in this year. So it's been a year of manifest hope. I call it manifest hope because the promises that Mr. President made during the campaigns, we can see them happening now.
Let's take a look at the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries. For so many years, it looked like a rocket science. But in the year 2024, we've seen, and of course, the contribution of the Dangote refinery. How have these really impacted the growth of the oil sector, and how have these developments set the pace for growth in the nation's economy in 2025?
The leadership we have, it's a very purposeful one, bold, daring, and focused. And all of this are happening because we have a leadership that understands, the times, a leadership that feels the pains of citizens, and a leadership that looks beyond the present. I was at the Port Harcourt refinery, the old Port Harcourt refinery. I saw things for myself. And I did a piece that the refinery is up and running, and let me put this in in picture so Nigerians can actually get a clear perspective of what is happening now. Today we have two refineries running, public-owned refineries running. Then, of course, the Dangote refinery. Most young Nigerians, when this refinery stopped working, most young Nigerians were not born. So it's a historic experience for these refineries to be up and running now. So it's a plus for the APC administration, the Buhari administration, and of course the President Tinubu administration. But like I said earlier, what is happening now shows bold, purposeful leadership. So the impact this will have already, you can see that the price of petroleum products have been plummeting. That's one clear impact. And of course, there will be more competition. What we're experiencing also is food deregulation at play. There will be competition, and as competition happens, the prices will become much more competitive. This Christmas, this holiday, Nigerians, did not have to spend hours queuing like in the past. That's also one big plus. They didn't have to spend hours on bus packs, petrol stations waiting to buy petrol products. It's one experience that, one big plus for this administration and for Mr. President. So it's by and large a very, very, very beautiful experience for Nigerians and a big plus for the government.
Well, the energy sector remains one, top on the priority of Mr. President. And in the year 2024, at least we recorded cases of a national grid collapse about 12 times. And many people are asking the questions, what is being done to help discos and gencos play better roles coming in 2025?
I think we are aware of the Electricity Amendment Act that was passed in earlier this year. And of course, it's part of the entire plan to help the system function better, the electricity sector power function better. Now, I think we have to bring this issue down to the brass tacks. We have a problem of distribution majorly. Now, the Minister of Power said something. He said we'll need like $10 billion to actually make the sector work. So we need critical investment in the sector. And what the administration is doing is actually incentivizing investment in gas production, opening up channels of investment in gas, basically. So it will take real investment in the sector for it to be up and running. But of course, we've seen improvements. We recorded improvements, in the course of this year. So it's not all gloom and doom. There have been spots of bright spots, even in the midst of the grid collapse. So it's a process. It's going to be gradual, but eventually we'll get there. It's a gradual process. We'll get there. We need investment, and of course, what this government is doing is opening up channels of investment in this sector, and it's happening. Investors are coming in, and so it's happening.
Well, still sticking with that, let me quickly bring up this fact. Nigeria's energy mix heavily relies on biofuels and waste. That's making up 74.5% of total energy supplies of 2021. And that's a stark 128th increase since the year 2000. Now, with the call for an investment to the tune of $10 billion, and many would want to say so much has been invested over the years without getting the results. Why should they trust the process?
Now, because this is a new government, this is a new administration.
Tell us more about that.
This is an administration that is truthful, honest, open, and transparent. Now, like I said when I have opened, every promise, every word the government has made, it has fulfilled. Now, the refiners working should be an example of this government means business. It is not here to kid around. It means it's different. In the past where we had billions, 15 billion spent on power and all went down the drain. This is different. This is an administration that is committed to the people. This is a government that is sensitive to the people. It's all about the people. It's a people-centered administration, a people-centered government. That's what we have. So it's different. It's a different sheriff is in town, a new sheriff is in town. It's a different ball game. So we shouldn't actually tie it to the past that it happened in the past. Investment have been made in the past sector and nothing happened. No, this is different. All the promises that have been made have been fulfilled. Every single one of them have been fulfilled. Today we have CNG. We have that, as a cushioning path, a cushioning element, for against the fuel subsidy removal. So there's seriousness, there's gravitas to governance under this administration. So it's different. So those investments will come, and of course there is a clear path and a clear channel to address this problem in the power sector.
Well, in case you just tuning in, this is the CUSP on the Nigerian Television Authority, a program specially designed as we cross over into the year 2025. And of course, we'll be going round to different centers of the NTA to have a feel of how people are preparing to cross over into the new year. Remember, it's already new year in the Far East, the likes of Japan, Australia, China, while Nigeria is counting down. And of course, we'll be discussing key issues that have really shaped Nigeria's economy in the year 2024. The senior special assistant to the president on public engagement, of course, will still be conversing over the next few minutes as we journey to the year 2025. About Kaduna, where there's Omar Ajingi, who is set now to actually give us the feel and the mood out there as the ever beautiful city of Kaduna also prepares to journey into the year 2025. Ajingi, if you are there now, tell me, what is the feeling out there in Kaduna tonight? Already caught in the mood, and surely would give me and give us, and of course your view out there, the feeling in Kaduna as we move into the year 2025. And let's come back into the studio with the SSA to the president on public engagement, and of course we're really discussing so many other issues affecting or that really shaped the year 2025. We're talking about CNG and gas the other time and how we can really boost the energy sector. Let's take a look at one other issue here, which is concerning the free train and 50% discount. Last year we saw the president, really making the announcement, of course giving some subsidies to those that wanted to travel for the year, but this time around 50%. People would say this is what should be enjoyed apart from being a festive season thing. Tell me about it.
Now, I think this shows clearly that this is people-centered administration, a people-centric administration. And not just the train ride, the buses as well, CNG buses across the country. I don't know if you've seen on social media how people have been celebrating that. So the feelers have been positive. Nigerians are happy about what is happening. It's a government that is, close to the people, listens to the people, understands their problems, and is addressing, their problems, full on. So it is clearly shows you that, we have a government that is for the people, and it's people-centric, to re-emphasize that. So it was done last year and it's being done again this year. So that clearly, and more, I believe that it will be sustained, because the whole idea is that Nigerians get to transport, go to a place of resident, place of birth, during the festive seasons, and have time to be with their families. So it's clearly it shows you that we have a very, very listening, government, a government for the people.
All right, while the president and of course the federal government announced that there will be 50% discount on most of the travel fares, there's some people that went to Kaduna and of course they're already having a good time on the streets of Kaduna now. But let's join Ajingi, my colleague out there in Kaduna, to give us the mood. I would just time ticking down to midnight and where the large and the very loud noise of the new year would really ring out there. Ajingi, tell me what is really happening there.
Thank you very much for the big history of Kaduna.
Some cracking signals there, but not perhaps some good fireworks going and some good lighting on the streets of Kaduna. Of course, at the course of this program, we shall surely rejoin Ajingi there to really give us the true picture of what is ongoing. Remember, I still have in the studio Fred Wabufu, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Engagement. Actually, there's so many things to talk about here as we gradually round off the year 2024. But from Kaduna, we can actually go over to the Garden City of Port Harcourt. And Kingsley Amajiri, also my colleague, is on the streets to actually enjoy the night and cruise into the year 2025. What's going on in the Garden City, Kingsley?
Of course, I would like to welcome you to Garden City, Port Harcourt, the River State capital. The city is calm and warm. Of course, it's a cool evening here in Port Harcourt. We are exactly at Abuja Road. Here is Casablanca. This evening, a number of residents have gone to either social gathering or religious gathering, of course, waiting to usher in the new year 2025. The city, of course, is calm. Like I told you, we've gone round before we stopped here. There is a number of security presence at the time, and of course, the people are eager to usher in the new year 2025 with great expectations. Of course, the new year, of course, holds a number of hope for many. I have a resident here, a young resident in Port Harcourt, of course, who is also out here to witness the upcoming year 2025. Would like to get his own perspective on what the 2025, the upcoming year, holds for you. Mr. Triumphant, I will actually batting to you here. Let's get your perspective. What do you expect in the year 2025? I understand you are among those who are here to usher in the new year 2025. Tell us.
Okay, first of all, I have to be very thankful to God because He has been the one who sustained us till now. Our expectations are high because we want to work with the government, but it is also important for us to let the government know that government should please implement policies that will better our lot, because to be very honest, it has not been that very sweet for everybody. Though our expectations are very high, we will keep working hard as youths and as citizens of Nigeria, and we believe that by the grace of God and also by some policies that our government will put in place, our expectations will be met.
All right, you've just heard from Mr. Triumphant, one of those who just saw here. Would like to go back to our network studios. Deji, this is what we have for you from the Port Harcourt Aziz of the country. Thank you.
Let me just squeeze out an extra information from you. That particular place that you are in Port Harcourt is one place that is lovely to be. I've been there before. But can you tell us what is the impact like? I'm sure one or two people took advantage of the 50% discount on bus rides to come into Port Harcourt. All right, Kingsley, would not be lost in this conversation. I'm still going to find a way of bringing him back for you to give us this update in the course of this.
Of course,
oh yes, it's back.
What is happening here? It's a social place. People are gathered here to have a feel of the evening. Of course, you know, people have just left their various houses. At this particular junction is a very notable place in Port Harcourt where people gather to have fun, and of course they are here to wait patiently for the 12 a.m. to say the Happy New Year, which is a usual norm when it comes to the crossover night. Some other persons are at the religious centers, worship centers, to also make this pronouncement of Happy New Year. Of here, people are having fun, taking drinks, and of course waiting eagerly to see what the new year have to offer to them. And of course, I will say that generally it is a very calm and peaceful environment here. We are right here in Port Harcourt.
All right, Kingsley, in the garden city of Port Harcourt, so many things happen in the garden, actually. Thank you very much for your contribution. As I say to the president, we just heard my colleague Kingsley there giving us an update of what's ongoing in Port Harcourt. We're seeing people, regardless of political lines, everyone is there enjoying just one and many other policies of government, including the free bus ride. Tell me about that.
So something about the reforms. One of the persons there mentioned that. Now the reforms were never meant to cause pain.
Okay.
The reforms were necessary. They were methodic. They are seminal, you know, to address structural defects. Now, what we're seeing now is that it's beginning to be consolidation. So the reforms were never meant to cause pain. They were very important. They were fundamental reforms. Now, you can see the fruits, you know, the seeds of the reforms. You can see their fruits now in the health sector, in the oil and gas sector, in agriculture. In health, for instance, the administration set out to retrain frontline health workers. Today we have totally retrained. You know, we have 53,000 frontline health workers retrained. It also set out to, the basic healthcare fund, provision fund. So far, it covers 10 million Nigerians. You know, and this year alone, we have about 2.4 million Nigerians enrolling in the National Insurance Health Scheme. In the agricultural sector, you know, there have been improvements, massive, you know, improvements. Security for farms, which has also caused harvest, you know, to happen, production and harvest to happen. So the reforms were necessary, they were fundamental, you know, to address defects, you know, structural defects. You know, you can't actually build a house without doing some digging, you know, to build a foundation. So it was necessary.
Let me put these two issues together now. On the 3rd of April, the president, there was a significant landmark in the country with the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. And that really opened up and renewed the hope in so many people that they can actually access education at an affordable cost, thanks to the federal government. But before you weigh in on that, I'm also told on the streets of the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo is also caught in the mood. Sheye, where in Abuja are you? And then tell us what's really happening there.
Wow, thank you very much, Ayodeji Makinde. We are at the Aero Park in the central city of Abuja, and the excitement and the fun has already begun here. If you know, it's the last day of the year 2024, and one of the days that Nigerians look forward to, because it is a time when they cross into the new year. Nigerians in their own ways already gathered here, but the point is this: if you can hear the sound of a car drift, that is where people gathered now, trying to see the excitement of the car drift. But at the moment, maybe getting to close to 12, then you will see the counting down, which will bring out the fireworks and also every other excitement into crossing the new year. This event right here is actually put together by some Nigerians, Arawa Beach, and also let me join Abu Marwa is going to get me details of actually what we are to expect here tonight. Abu, how are you tonight?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
So tell us what tonight is all about.
Tonight is all about countdown celebration. We're going to ring in the new year with style in a very nice, warm family environment. We have drift cars, we have fireworks, and we have stage performances, artists performing tonight. It's going to be really, really nice. This is the third year running. It's a program that was started by a company called CTM, Capture the Moment. And this year they're partnering with my company, Arewa Beats and Manga Sports, to bring another bespoke event to Abuja. No drugs, no alcohol, family environment. It's a very lovely way to ring in the new year and to be thankful for us being alive. That's what this is all about.
So what will be the message to Nigerians on this occasion?
The message to Nigerians is have hope. As long as there's life, there's hope, and things are going to get better. Things are already getting better. Yes, it's going to be a wonderful new year, inshallah.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Yes, thank you so much.
So like you hear from them, a lot of Nigerians are actually here. I believe by the time you come back to us at the Aero Park here, you will see the excitement of the fireworks and every other things that they have put together. But that is what it is right now. The car drift is on, and that is where people gathered themselves and catching the phone.
Thank you very much. Captivating and interesting moments there, but remember to stay safe while car drifting. Let's try and enjoy responsibly. Thank you very much for the updates there. Fred, you just heard what's happening in Abuja as well. Everyone seemed to have put aside the bumpy rides of the year, and of course having that renewed hope. And let's talk more about the education and the loan by the federal government.
You know, Mr. President made a promise during the campaign that Nigerians who want to go to school but don't have the funds to do so, you know, he had something for them, you know, to protect, to safeguard their future. And of course, that's what has happened. You know, I believe for a long time in our history, you know, funding, money will not be a problem for young Nigerians who dream of going to school. You know, that's not a problem. That has been removed. So it's a major milestone, a landmark. You know, it's a major, a significant milestone. You know, it's something that must be celebrated, should be celebrated. It's significant. You know, it's seismic. Let me use the word. It's seismic. It's a seismic achievement for the administration. You know.
Let's take a look at one major event again in the year 2024. On the 23rd of October, many people woke up to the news of the cabinet reshuffle. The president actually made a landmark decision, sacking 5 ministers, appointing 7 and redeploying 10. How has this really shaped his administration and, of course, marching the policies forward?
Well, the president is a very, very vibrant, cerebral president. You know, he understands what he wants to achieve. So he has taken the decision, he has reviewed the performance metrics, and he has taken the decision. And I believe in the new year we'll see more of things happening. You know, so he has taken the decision. You know, and he has reviewed the performance metrics, and he has taken the best decision possible to ensure that the plans, the agenda, the programs of his administration are driven very well.
What's a major one there, especially with people also leading the call for the cost of reduction in governance. Of course, the president made it clear that things will really take shape at the right time. But I've also been given an update that Kaduna is not ready for us, and of course Ajingi was caught to the fireworks earlier, and of course the mood now is clear, ready to give us a good ambience from that beautiful city. Over to you, Ajingi.
Sorry, Bob, people here at the Central Cultural Square. I'm already on their face. You can see behind me on the stage, some of the musicians are already on stage performing, as well as in
Well, too much of vibes in Kaduna there, causing some vibration, but let's still wait and see. We'll have some few moments in this program because as I can see from the other side of the studio, the crew for Tuesday Live are actually getting ready. But while they get ready, in Lagos, Larry Bidley used to be in Abuja here before it was redeployed to Lagos. But Larry, Lagos is a center of excellence, a call for show, they love to say. Tell us what the show is all about.
Well, we've been going around the town recently, and you know, in this part of the world, at this hour, people like to go to their worship centers to usher in the new year. And we are one of the churches, before we come online now, we'll come out live now, and the church is the Foursquare Gospel Church, and I have the GO of the church. GO, sir, I want you to tell us your expectations for the new year, sir. What are your expectations for the new year?
We're expecting more positive change in the new year. It has started slowly in 2024, but I know in 2025 it will be accelerated. For us in this church, this coming year is going to be a year of what we have termed it is a year of resounding victories on all fronts. So the expectation is high. Our people are expectant, they are looking up to God. Because the nation and our individual lives have come to a point we have realized that only God can intervene, and He has started intervening. You can see towards the end of 2024, indeed, the fuel price is coming down. That's a good sign, and it's going to continue by the special grace of God. The naira is stabilized, and we expect more of that.
All right, sir. So I'll have to go back to the studios. Ayo, we have to go back to you, and then you come back to us later on the program.
All right, Larry, I'm sure some few moments before midnight we'll still reconnect with you to give us the hyper mood of the show in the Center of Excellence. Thank you very much for that quick update from Lagos. Fred, you're still here as a round off a discussion because of the next set that just over, in the next studio over there. Let's quickly talk about the tax reform bill.
Okay.
How come reactions that trailed it, labeled it controversial?
You know, it's normal when reforms are initiated. You expect debate. So the debate is normal, but I believe sufficient argument for the bills have been made. Sufficient argument why they're important: to streamline the tax system, to improve revenue collection, and the like. So it's normal to have this debate, you know, and when they are done in a healthy atmosphere, that's even better. So what the government is, because the government is a listening government, getting feedback from the people and also explaining to them, so that has been done sufficiently. Now, in closing, I want to say the year 2025 is going to be a propitious one.
Okay.
It's going to be a very propitious one. It's a year of consolidation. The reforms, the seeds of the reforms that have been, planted this season will begin to fruit clearly. In agriculture, in security, in health, in education, and otherwise, we will see significant improvement. It's going to be a year of consolidation.
I like to so many things to actually talk about, but I just have to thank you for your time to come into the studio to reflect on key issues, reforms and policies of this administration in the year 2024. It's been great to have you around.
Thank you, Aya.
Of course, I've been conversing with Fred Wadrufo, who is the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Engagement on the CUSP. And guess what? Cyril Stover is ready for Tuesday Live. I've actually eaten a bit into your time, Cyril, but surely I'll still come back some minutes to 12. But what a year it has been, Cyril, and surely I cannot wait to roll with you into the year 2025.
Right, Ayo, it doesn't happen all the time. I suppose it's one of those unique days where on the program Tuesday Live we started 1 year and round off in another year. As it is, we're starting off in 2024 and rounding off in 2025. But no doubt about it, 2024 was an eventful year on so many fronts. Perhaps after these formal programs, we'll have time to sit out and